honorable ambassadors, leaders from the industry, representatives from global aviation organizations, esteemed guests, and friends from media. Good evening to all of you. It is my privilege and pleasure as well to welcome you all to this event of curtain raiser of Wings India 2026. I would like to especially welcome the Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation, who has taken time out of his very busy schedule, and he is here with us today. Also, the Minister of State, Civil Aviation, who has always been supportive in our all endeavors. As we all know that this is the Asia's largest and flagship event of civil aviation industry, and jointly organized by ANILI, by Ministry of Civil Aviation, Airport Authority of India, and FICCI, that encapsulates the vision, dynamism, and resilience of India's civil aviation sector. Wings India 2026 is scheduled at Begumpet Airport, Hyderabad, from 28th January till 31st of January 2026. It serves as the ideal platform for national and international stakeholders of civil aviation sector, whether it is aircraft manufacturers, airline operators, airport operators, MROs, FTOs, etc. We all share our ideas, thoughts, and discuss new opportunities of investment along with collaboration and partnership on this platform of Wings. If I talk of previous editions of Wings, that is Wings India 2024, it was a testament to India's growing aviation sector with over 130 exhibitors, 25 aircraft on static display, participation for more than 1,500 business delegates, and attendance exceeding 1.2 lakh visitors. The event underscored India's position as a global aviation hub. Today, India's aviation sector is growing leaps and bounds and is boosting growth, empowering economies, and unlocking endless possibilities. From mega airports to regional airfields, from air cargo, logistics to digital check-in systems, India is setting new benchmarks through infrastructure development, technology integration, sustainability measures, and capacity buildings. In the recent years, several strategic policies and initiatives such as NCAP 2016 and the UDAN scheme have made travel accessible to common citizen. The number of operational airports in India has been more than doubled, 74 in 2014 to 160 in 2025. And the aim is to increase this number around 350 to 400 by 2047. At the same time, if we compare the number of passengers with previous years, while in previous years it was 13.07 crores, so this year it is 14.38 crore, which is more than 10% in 1 year. And it reflects the expanding capacity and efficiency of Indian aviation sector. At the second Asia Pacific Ministerial Conference, which happened last year in 2024, our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, launched Delhi Declaration on Civil Aviation, which is a landmark framework to strengthen regional cooperation to address emerging challenges and foster sustainable growth in Asia Pacific. Honorable PM emphasized that civil aviation is no luxury for few, and reflecting the democratization of air travel, he said, we need to make air travel safe, affordable, and accessible to all. Means that air travel should not only be accessible, but it should be affordable also. And safety is our main concern. Building on that momentum, it is important to reflect on the broader vision that is shaping our sector today. India is moving ahead with the bold vision of Viksit Bharat, a developed nation by 2047. And Ministry of Civil Aviation also is working to achieve the vision of Honorable Prime Minister. Under the dynamic leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, civil aviation is at the heart of this transformation. The future is changing rapidly, whether it is eVTOLs, drones, sustainable fuels, and advanced air mobility, etc. These are redefining how we fly in days to come. And to meet these shifts, the government has been proactively working on key reforms, including regulatory reforms also, which also are equally important, to create an ecosystem which is ready for aviation of tomorrow. Wings India 2026, to be held in the vibrant city of Hyderabad, promises to embrace innovation, investment, and international cooperation. I would like to take this opportunity to extend a heartfelt invitation to our international partners, including but not limited to OEMs, investors, innovators, and policy leaders, to be a part of this mega event. Let me also acknowledge in the last and thank Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation for his visionary guidance and leadership to fulfill the dreams of our Honorable Prime Minister. It will not be possible without the support of Honorable Minister of State and our Secretary Sir also. So let's take wings together and shape the skies of tomorrow. We look forward to welcoming you all in Hyderabad in 2026. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your warm and welcoming remarks. I now invite Mr. Remy Maya, Chairman, FICCI Civil Aviation Committee and President and MD, Airbus, South Asia and India, to share his insights. Let's welcome him on the dais.
Honorable Union Minister Shri Ram Mohan Naidu ji, Honorable Minister of State Mocha Shri Mohol ji, Secretary Shri Samir Sinha, Shri Vipin Kumar, DG Vikas, my colleague at FICCI, Shri Mati Vij, officials at the Ministry of Civil Aviation, my dear colleagues from the industry, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, it is both an honor and a privilege to address you today at the curtain raiser of Wings India, which has emerged as one of the largest civil aviation air shows in the world. The gathering this evening is a clear indication of our industry's resolve to take Wings India 2026 to even greater heights. The government's proactive approach in raising the profile of Wings India with each successive edition highlights its commitment to positioning India as a leader in the global aviation landscape. Friends, Wings India has grown in size and stature. This is in keeping with India's rise in global aviation. But India's aviation sector is not only about record passenger growth and aircraft orders. Today there is a concerted effort from the Government of India to develop a robust aerospace ecosystem. For instance, there is a sharp focus on aerospace component manufacturing to support a well-developed supply chain in India. In the past few months, several Indian companies have won major component manufacturing contracts from foreign OEMs. And Wings India can play the role of catalyst here, bringing the best of India and the best of the world on a common platform. Wings India serves not only as a platform to celebrate India's achievements in aviation, but also as a great forum to showcase India's competencies and competitiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, I've had the privilege of working very closely with the Honorable Minister for some time. And I can say with confidence that the world's fastest growing aviation market is in capable and dynamic hands. Honorable Minister, FICCI thanks you for your unwavering support to our collective ambition of building a robust and resilient aviation industry in India. Sir, FICCI is working diligently towards making Wings India an event that is bigger and better than its previous edition, more impactful than it has ever been, and more meaningful for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Maya, for setting the stage with your valuable words. Up next, I invite on the stage Sri Asanba Chubao, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of India, to share an overview of Wings India 2026. Let's welcome him.
Very good evening to you all. Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation, Government of India, Shri Kinjapur Ramodan Naiduji, Chief Guest for this evening. Shri Muralidhar Mohalji, Honorable Minister of State for Civil Aviation, respected dignitaries on the stage, distinguished guests from across government, industry, media, ladies and gentlemen. A brief presentation on introducing Wings India 2026. As very aptly put by Remy just before me, the organizers are Ministry of Civil Aviation, Airports Authority, FICCI, and the Government of Telangana, who is the host state. As mentioned, this event takes place in Begumpet Airport in Hyderabad. The objectives of the event: to pave the way for a sustainable and resilient aviation ecosystem, which also showcases India's growth and innovation. It facilitates dialogue, highlights partnerships across the aviation landscape, and drives technology adoption for future-ready aviation. Glimpses of Wings India 2024. Many of you in this room have been part of that and have been part of the earlier editions too, but many of you may not have been part, so just a few glimpses of that as can be seen. The event format is not new, but it is also has a unique, I would say, aspect to it, because not only do we have an inaugural session, but we also have with a dignitary, but we also have the ministerial plenary, where we have honorable ministers from across countries and across states in India. And there's also a global CEOs forum, where in the past we have been graced by the presence of dignitaries from the aviation industry from across the world. Besides that, we have the roundtables and the panel discussions and the exhibition, etc., along with a fascinating air show. The participants, as mentioned, are states and union territories from across the country, ministers and delegates from across the many countries, partner countries across the world, and literally every aspect of the aviation industry, and then also the skill development aspect of it, as well as the education, aviation education domain. The target participation, this is building on what has happened earlier. We are now targeting a larger number in terms of the exhibitors, visitors, in terms of the foreign delegates, and the plan is to take this event to the next level. The conference, which is part of an integral part of Wings, will have thematic sessions on a number of important issues, as mentioned, including component manufacturing, advanced air mobility, aviation security, and multimodal logistics, among others. The conference tentative agenda, and as we all know, it's a 4-day event. So the first day will have the inaugural, that is the 28th of January 2026, we'll have the inaugural. It will also have a number of roundtables besides the ministerial plenary and global CEOs forum, as mentioned earlier. In the evening of the same day, we will also have the Wings India Awards, which is also another major component of this event. Day 2 will be more of the roundtables and the panel discussions, which will continue. And this time, a new component has been added under the, I would say, suggestion by our Honorable Minister, we will be having a cultural evening on the second day of the event. The third day will be open to the public, the third and fourth days, but it will also have interesting components like the students' competitions and an aviation job fair. So that is planned for the third as well as the fourth day. And every day of these events, we will be having the air show, of course, the aircraft on display, the exhibitions will continue for all 4 days. The focus areas for this edition of Wings, besides all the other aspects of civil aviation, will be primarily on two areas. One is aircraft component manufacturing, as mentioned earlier. This is an area where India has got a very strong base, and I think growing very rapidly, India has cemented its place in the industry, and this is an area where we will be focusing on this time. And the other area is advanced air mobility, which is the future of aviation. Awards, as mentioned earlier, is also an area where this is also an event which is very, I would say, it's an area which interests a lot of us, especially in the industry. And the knowledge partner will be KPMG. And award categories, there will also be subcategories within this, the major categories. And this event will be held on the 28th of January in the evening. For a event promotional strategy, we are focusing on the national level as well as international. So at the national level, we will be having a series of road shows, which will be tied up with the events as displayed on the screen. We'll be having the West regional conferences in all the 5 regions of the country. And along with that, we'll be having the road show for this, for the Wings India 2026. And at international level, there are a number of important events that are coming up. Among them being the IATA AGM, which is going to be held in early next month in New Delhi. The Paris Air Show coming up later in June. And also the ICAO Assembly in Montreal, Canada, where the entire aviation fraternity will converge. And the year will close with the Dubai Air Show. So this is the plan for strategy. So this Wings event 2026 is going to be bigger than before as we plan. And we hope that all of you will be there next year in January at Hyderabad. And the Ministry of Civil Aviation cordially invites all of you, each and every one of you, to this event. So thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for an insightful presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move ahead to an important segment of this evening, the announcement of key initiatives as we look ahead to Wings India 2026. Let's begin with a short promotional film capturing the highlights of Wings India 2024 and offering a glimpse into the scale and ambition of Wings India 2026.
Wings India 2024, a premier event in Asia's civil aviation sector, brought together the best in the industry. Jointly organized by the Ministry of Civil Aviation, the Airports Authority of India and FICCI. This landmark event took place from the 18th to 21st of January at Begumpet Airport, Hyderabad. It was a truly path-breaking event, drawing over 130 exhibitors and showcasing 25 aircraft on display. It welcomed more than 1,500 business delegates, 5,000 business visitors, and an impressive 1.2 lakh general attendees. International participation spanned Asia, Europe, North America, Oceania, South America, Eurasia, and Africa. Ministerial level delegations from Sweden, Hungary, Saudi Arabia, Cambodia, Sri Lanka, Fiji, and Tanzania underscored its global significance. Wings India 2024 brought together industry leaders, innovators, and subject matter experts through a series of knowledge sessions, fostering collaboration and charting the future of aviation. The event featured the prestigious ministerial plenary session and the Global CEOs Roundtable, along with specialized discussions on airlines, the helicopter industry, airports, skill development, MRO, aircraft leasing, air cargo and business aviation and general aviation, inspiring panels on sustainable aviation and women in aviation, highlighted critical themes, followed by a dedicated half-day conference on advanced air mobility. Several key announcements marked India's dynamic aviation growth. Akasa Air announced a monumental order of 150 Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. Airbus announced a partnership with CSIR IIP to develop sustainable aviation fuel. Lufthansa Technik and GMR Aerotechnik launched Cyclean engine wash services. Airbus and Air India unveiled plans for India's biggest pilot training centre. Heritage Aviation ordered Airbus H125 and H130 helicopters for the regional connectivity scheme. The event also featured spectacular air shows by the Indian Air Force's Sarangati, the UK's global stars, Akasa Air, Boeing 737-8, along with showcasing for the first time the Boeing 777X and Airbus A350 in India. Thematic pavilions and hospitality chalets offered unparalleled networking opportunities and highlighted cutting-edge aviation technologies. Wings India 2024 stood as a testament to India's emergence as a global aviation hub, underscoring commitments to sustainability, accessibility, and global connectivity. With significant collaborations and industry advancements, the event charted a robust path toward India's aviation vision for 2047. The next edition in January 2026 promises to raise the bar even higher. See you at the 2026 edition.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now witness the formal release of Wings India 2026 brochure. This brochure encapsulates the vision, highlights, and strategic significance of Wings India 2026 as a premier global platform for civil aviation. May I now request the esteemed dignitaries on the dais to kindly release the Wings India 2026 brochure. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I now request the dignitaries to kindly remain where they are for our next announcement, to kindly remain where they are. May I now request Honorable Union Minister and the Honorable Minister of State to formally launch the Wings India 2026 mobile app, available on both iOS and Android platforms. I now request the Honorable Ministers to please tap the screen. The app is designed to enhance the experience of participants, exhibitors, and visitors by offering seamless access to event updates, schedules, and networking opportunities, all at their fingertips. To mark this moment, the Honorable Ministers will also complete the first delegate registrations through the app, symbolizing the formal opening of delegate registrations for Wings India 2026. Thank you very much. May I request the dignitaries to please. With these significant announcements, we now look forward to hearing from our key dignitaries. Now I invite Shri Samir Kumar Sinha, Secretary, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of India, to deliver the special address.
Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation, Sri K. Ramamohan Naidu, Honorable Minister of State for Civil Aviation, Sri Muralidhar Mohol, my colleagues, Sri Bipin Kumar, Chairman Airports Authority of India, Sri Rajesh Nirwan, DG BCAS, Mr. Remy Millard, Chairman FICCI Civil Aviation Committee and President and MD, Airbus India and South Asia, Ms. Jyoti Biz, Director General FICCI, distinguished guests, dignitaries from the embassies, industry leaders. I see some colleagues from the state government, also from the central government departments, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar and good evening. Bipin has already pointed out, but it's my privilege and pleasure also to welcome you to the curtain raiser of Wings India 2026, Asia's flagship event for civil aviation, a premier platform where vision meets opportunity, and stakeholders from across the world shape the future of flight. As we gather here today, it's worth reflecting on the incredible momentum this sector has built, especially in the last decade. India's civil aviation journey, we all know, is nothing short of remarkable. We are now the third largest domestic aviation market and among the fastest growing globally. This growth is not just about numbers, it's about impact on the various sectors of the economy and the overall GDP. Aviation in India, we all know, is people-centric. It powers regional growth, connects communities, boosts tourism, and drives the economy forward. And in that sense, aviation is truly a great enabler. That's why Wings India 2026 is very, very contextual, and it comes at an important time. Wings India 2026 will spotlight the transformative power of regional connectivity that we have to showcase. Through UDAN, we have brought Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities onto the aviation map. We have turned first-time flyers into frequent travelers. We have opened skies to new possibilities. But as we all know, connectivity needs capacities, and that begins with infrastructure, some with very, very basic infrastructure. And in the past decade, the number of operational airports has doubled, we all know. Greenfield airports, metro airports, hubs, and world-class terminals are being built with an eye on efficiency, technology, and sustainability. Airports are not confined to the metros or the state capitals. I was talking about the last decade. They are there in India's heartland, almost everywhere, in a small, mid-sized towns as well. Alongside this, India is making its mark on the global aerospace supply chain. This is a very, very important development. Wings India 2026 will also shine light on India's rise as an aerospace manufacturing hub. Global OEMs now source over $2 billion annually from Indian manufacturers. This is by no way a mean amount, including our vibrant MSME sector. This is, ladies and gentlemen, Atmanirbhar Bharat in action. Another area that I would like to highlight, which is gaining renewed focus, is the area of aircraft maintenance. The MRO sector is undergoing a strategic shift. With tax reforms last year and supportive policies, India is becoming an MRO destination for Asia Pacific. This means lower cost for airlines, more jobs for our youths, and stronger service capabilities. I would like to highlight another area related to our investments in the air cargo and logistics. India is investing in air cargo and logistics, from e-commerce to rural exports. Aviation is enabling faster, safer, and more reliable movement of goods. This has benefited all of us. Its reach is far and wide, and this is, needless to say, another enabler of economic activities. On the scaling up, we feel, and justifiably so, that we must scale up responsibly. Sustainability is at the heart of our vision, from sustainable aviation fuel to carbon neutral airports and fuel efficient aircraft. India is taking bold steps to lead the transition to green aviation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also committed to making aviation more inclusive. We are proud to champion gender diversities in the skies. India has the highest percentage of women pilots in the world, and their numbers are rising across all domains: pilots, engineers, controllers, and most importantly, leaders. Looking ahead, innovation will define the next phase of growth. Wings India 2026 will also spotlight the next frontier: advanced air mobility. Drones, eVTOL, and smart air systems will redefine how we move, deliver, and importantly, connect. With dedicated drone corridors and new policies, India is unlocking the full potential of this future-ready sector. And to support this future, we are also building the right financial ecosystem. We are strengthening aviation finance and leasing. GIFT City is emerging as a global hub. The recent Aircraft Objects Protection Act reaffirms India's commitment to the Cape Town Convention and global best practices. All of this makes Wings India 2026 more than just an industry event. Wings India 2026 is more than an event. It is a vision, a platform, a collaboration. It brings together policymakers, policy players, global players, investors, and innovators in a shared mission to shape the skies of tomorrow. As someone who has recently taken over a role of Secretary, Civil Aviation, I look forward to working with all of you. With your support and under the visionary guidance of our honorable ministers and support of my colleagues, I am confident we can achieve something truly meaningful in this sector. Together, let us take Indian aviation to greater heights. We invite the world to join us. Let's co-create, co-invest, and co-innovate. Let's make Wings India 2026 a celebration of progress, partnership, and possibilities. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful address. It is my honor to invite our guest of honor, Shri Muralidhar Mohal, Honorable Minister of State for Civil Aviation, Government of India.
विंग्स इंडिया 2026 के कर्टन रेजर समारोह में मंच पर उपस्थित आज के हमारे चीफ गेस्ट, our Union Minister of Civil Aviation, Honorable Sri Kinjarapu Rammohan Naidu ji, Secretary Civil Aviation Sri Samir Kumar Sinha ji, Chairman AI Sri Bipin Kumar ji, DG Vikas Sri Rajesh Nirwan ji, Mr. Remy Maillard, Chairman FICCI Civil Aviation Committee and President, Airbus India and South Asia, Ms. Jyoti Vij, Director General FICCI, और इस सभागृह में उपस्थित आप सभी मान्यवर, हम सब इस अवसर पर विंग्स इंडिया 2026 के कर्टन रेजर कार्यक्रम में शामिल होने के लिए उपस्थित है। मेरा ये मानना है कि ये सिर्फ एक इवेंट की शुरुआत नहीं है, बल्कि देश की सिविल एविएशन सेक्टर में एक नए अध्याय का आरंभ भी है। विंग्स इंडिया 2026 एक ऐसा अवसर है जो सिविल एविएशन सेक्टर से जुड़े उद्योजक, पॉलिसी मेकर्स, इनोवेशन, स्टार्टअप्स और इन्वेस्टर्स को एक कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म प्रदान करता है। विंग्स इंडिया 2026 में इस बार ग्रीन एविएशन, डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी और स्किल डेवलपमेंट ऐसे महत्वपूर्ण विषय पर फोकस किया जा रहा है। आज हमारे देश ने आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के कुशल नेतृत्व में पिछले 11 साल में सभी क्षेत्रों में ऐतिहासिक उपलब्धियां हासिल की है और हमारा सिविल एविएशन सेक्टर इसका एक शाइनिंग एग्जाम्पल है। देश में एयरपोर्ट का विस्तार और कनेक्टिविटी का एक सशक्त नेटवर्क, ये सब माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के विजनरी नेतृत्व की एक उपलब्धि है। सिविल एविएशन मंत्रालय द्वारा हमारे यंग और डायनेमिक हमारे मिनिस्टर माननीय राम मोहन नायडू जी के नेतृत्व में अनेक महत्वपूर्ण कदम उठाए जा रहे हैं। जहां 2014 में हम सबको मालूम है कि देश में केवल 74 एयरपोर्ट्स थे, लेकिन वही आज देश में एयरपोर्ट की संख्या है 160। ये बड़ी उपलब्धि है और मुझे विश्वास है कि बहुत जल्द हम 200 से भी अधिक एयरपोर्ट का लक्ष्य भी पारित करेंगे। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की परिकल्पना से वो कहते हैं कि उड़े देश का आम नागरिक, ये जो संकल्पना है यानी कि उड़ान योजना, इसके माध्यम से अब तक 619 रूट्स और 88 एयरपोर्ट्स पर यह योजना शुरू की गई है। देश के लगभग 1.5 करोड़ से अधिक यात्रियों को अब तक इसका लाभ मिला है। माननीय वित्त मंत्री निर्मला जी ने इस बजट सेशन में अगले 10 साल में ये योजना शुरू होने की घोषणा भी की है और आने वाले समय में देश में 120 नए डेस्टिनेशन के माध्यम से देश में 4.5 करोड़ यात्रियों को इस योजना का लाभ मिलेगा। आज देश भर में लगभग 1300 विमानों का एक बड़ा नेटवर्क भी तैयार हो रहा है, जो आत्मनिर्भर भारत का प्रतीक है। सिर्फ एक वर्ष 2024 में एयरपोर्ट्स ने करीब 37 करोड़ यात्रियों का स्वागत किया। पूरे देश में हमारे जितने एयरपोर्ट्स हैं, 37 करोड़ यात्रियों पूरे एक वर्ष में पूरे देश में उन्होंने आज प्रवास किया है। पिछले साल 17 नवंबर 2024 इस एक दिन में ही लगभग 5 लाख डोमेस्टिक ट्रैवलर्स ने यात्रा की और एक नया रिकॉर्ड स्थापित किया है। आज हमारे देश में 2.5 लाख से अधिक उड़ानें, 517 से नए रूट्स, 21 ग्रीनफील्ड एयरपोर्ट्स का निर्माण और एविएशन स्किल्स को बढ़ावा देने के लिए प्रशिक्षण केंद्र बनाने का काम तेज़ी से अब चल रहा है। आज स्वदेशी सस्टेनेबल एविएशन फ्यूल का निर्माण करने का कार्य भी चल रहा है। साल 2050 तक हम एविएशन सेक्टर में नेट जीरो एमिशन के लक्ष्य को भी प्राप्त करेंगे। हमारी सरकार ने एमआरओ सेक्टर को बढ़ावा देने के लिए अनेक निर्णय लिए हैं, जिसमें टैक्स में बड़ी राहत दी गई, साथ ही 100% एफडीआई के लिए भी अनुमति प्रदान की है। ऐसे अनेक पॉलिसी रिफॉर्म्स की वजह से साल 2030 तक हमारा देश एक बड़े एमआरओ हब के रूप में कार्य करेगा। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत आज विश्व की चौथी अर्थव्यवस्था बनी है। आने वाले समय में आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के विकसित भारत 2047 के विजन को साकार करने के लिए हम देश में 400 एयरपोर्ट्स बनाने का संकल्प किया है और भारत दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा डोमेस्टिक एविएशन मार्केट बनेगा। इसके साथ ही हम भारत के एविएशन सेक्टर को इनोवेशन, क्वालिटी और आत्मनिर्भरता का केंद्र भी बनाना चाहते हैं। ऐसे अनेक लक्ष्यों को पाने के लिए विंग्स इंडिया 2026 एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका अदा करेगा और इसमें अपना योगदान भी देगा। अंत में मैं एक बार फिर आप सभी को जनवरी 2026 में होने वाले विंग्स इंडिया कार्यक्रम के सहभागी होने के लिए निमंत्रित करता हूं। मुझे विश्वास है कि हम सब मिलकर आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में सिविल एविएशन सेक्टर को नई ऊंचाइयों पर जरूर पहुंचाएंगे। फिर से एक बार आप सभी का धन्यवाद। Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your inspirational words and for supporting the growth of Indian civil aviation sector. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege to invite our chief guest, Shri Kinjarapu Ram Mohan Naidu, Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation, Government of India, to deliver the chief guest address. Can we all please extend a very warm welcome to him on the dais?
Honorable Minister of State for Civil Aviation, Muralidhar Maholji, Secretary Ministry of Civil Aviation, Samir Sinhaji, Chairman Airports Authority of India, Vipin Kumarji, Chairman FICCI and MD Airbus India, my dear friend Remy Mayardji, DG BCAS Rajesh Nirvanji, DG FICCI Srimati Jyoti Vidji, and Your Excellencies, dignitaries, global delegates, representatives from the state, visionaries and friends from aviation and friends from the media, namaste and a warm welcome and good evening to each and every one of you. It is with a deep sense of pride, humility and responsibility that I stand before you today at the curtain raiser of Wings India 2026. This gathering is not merely about announcing an event, it is about declaration of a purpose. It is reaffirmation of India's commitment to not just keep pace with global aviation, but to lead it, shape it, and also define its future. Exactly 12 months ago, I was entrusted with the responsibility of serving India's Civil Aviation Ministry. And this last 1 year, every single day has been driven by a single vision. And that vision is to ensure that aviation in India is not limited to a few, but belongs to each and every Indian. And that the sky is not just a limit, but it is the beginning of many opportunities. And in this journey, I've had the privilege to interact with wide spectrum of people, from the workers at the airport to CEOs of airports, and visiting emerging airstrips and cutting-edge drone labs, and to inaugurating terminals, and to listening to passengers from each and every part of the country. All these experiences have grounded me with one truth, and that is that civil aviation is not just infrastructure, but it is an aspiration. It is a dignity and it is development. And under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, aviation in India has become a vehicle of transformation. And he often says that पहले हवाई चप्पल पहनने वाला इंसान हवाई यात्रा का सपना भी नहीं देख सकता था. But now today, that dream is not only visible, but it is real and it is realizable. And in 2014, this number has been widely spoken by the previous speakers, and I've also said it in many instances. In 2014, we had 74 airports, and today the number is 160. And in the next 20 years, we are very much ready to add another 200 airports to our kitty. And in the next 5 years itself, we want to inaugurate 50 new airports in the country. And through UDAN scheme, Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagarik scheme, we have connected more than 1 crore 50 lakh people of this country to the Indian skies. And more than 3 lakh UDAN flights have been operated in this time. And over 700 regional routes have been activated, and 90 plus aerodromes have been made operational. We are witnessing a civil aviation revolution in the country. And in 2014, India recorded over 6 lakh domestic flights annually, and today that number has grown up to 11 lakhs. This means that 60 more flights are being handled every hour as compared to the year 2014. And in the last 11 months, I've had the privilege of launching UDAN 5.0 and UDAN 5.1, expanding the connectivity to the remotest parts of this great country. And we are working towards air taxi trials, drone corridors, and a regulatory sandbox to support new age startups. We have introduced true landmark legislations also in the Parliament. The Bharatiya Vayuyan Adhiniyam, which brings India in alignment with the Chicago Convention and ICAO standards, and the Protection of Interests in Aircraft Objects Act 2025, which strengthens India's position in global leasing and aircraft finance. India today is not just flying, my friends, it's soaring. Our aircraft fleet has doubled from 800 to 850 aircrafts today, And we have already placed orders of more than 1,700 aircrafts, which is the biggest in the world, aiming for a fleet of 3,500 by the year 2047. Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport is now the 9th busiest airport in the world, handling over more than 7.7 crore passengers annually. And our carriers share international outbound traffic has grown from 36% in 2019 to 47% in 2024. Mumbai is now building Navi Mumbai Airport. Delhi is now building Jewar Airport. Chennai is planning Parandur Airport. Bangalore is now proposing its second airport. So all India's major metros are preparing for a second generation of world-class airports. But Wings India is not just about what we have achieved. It is about what we are all going to achieve together. The 2024 edition, which saw 130 exhibitors, 1,500 delegates, 5,000 professionals, and around 101,20,000 general attendees, this number is a testimony to how important Wings event is for the journey of Indian civil aviation. It tells us how deeply the Indian public is connected with the magic of a flight. And in 2026, we aim to make it bigger and grander. With over 200 exhibitors, delegations from more than 60 countries, and dedicated tracks on MRO, artificial intelligence in aviation, drones, ATC technologies, and advanced air mobility. India's MRO market is also growing at 3 times the global average, yet more than 60% of component, airfare, and airframe and engine maintenance is still being done abroad. That is a gold mine of opportunity for domestic and international investors. Our drone ecosystem is booming, with over 11,000 drones being registered annually. And we are poised to become the 3rd largest drone market in the world by the year 2030. And we are hosting the Advanced Air Mobility India Conference also. And we are preparing for the first air taxi trials in partnership with ICAO, FAA, and EASA in Wings India 2026. India's innovation story in aviation is also just beginning. We are leading in sustainable aviation. 80 of our 160 airports are already running on green energy, and India has access to 750 million metric tons of biomass, making us a potential global hub for sustainable aviation fuel manufacturing. And we are targeting SAF blending of 1% in our international flights by 2027, 2% by 2028, and 5% by the year 2030. We are also laying a strong foundation for aircraft component manufacturing in the country. Today, global OEMs like Boeing and Airbus already source around $2 billion worth of components annually from our Indian MSMEs. Our goal is to make that amount $10 billion industry in the coming days, and built on structural parts, avionics, and electronics made here right in India. We believe in inclusive growth, and that including the next generation. At Wings India 2026, we look forward to welcoming students, aviation enthusiasts, and global training institutes to inspire young Indians to dream of careers in aerospace, aviation, and innovation. And in that group, we want to specially promote women in aviation also. India's leadership in global aviation policy is also rising. From our G20 presidency to hosting the Asia Pacific Ministerial Conference, we are driving standards, building capacity, and forging multilateral partnerships with ICAO, FAA, EASA, and many others across the globe. Decarbonization is not just an option for us, it is an imperative. And India is committed to lead this revolution. Let me now speak to the global aviation community who is gathered here. India's message is clear. Our skies are full of opportunity, our policies are stable, and our partnerships are sincere. Come, co-create the future of aviation with us. Wings India 2026 is not just a business platform, it is a collective declaration of our ambition. It is where opportunity meets optimism, and it is where India's aviation destiny takes flight. We are also delighted to launch the Wings India 2026 mobile app for an integrated digital first experience for every participant. Friends, the acronym WINGS itself reflects our mission, where W, wider access, making air travel accessible to all. I, infrastructure growth, expanding airports and helicopters across the country. N, national self-reliance, promoting Make in India for drones, aircraft parts, and MROs. G, global leadership, shaping global aviation policy and partnerships. S, sustainability and innovation, leading in SAF, eVTOLs, and next-gen aviation tech. I see Wings 2026 as more than an event. It is a flight plan, it is a collective launch pad, and it is our invitation to the whole world. And now, with immense pride, I'm honored to officially unveil the theme of Wings India 2026, which is Indian aviation paving the way for future, from designing to deployment, manufacturing to maintenance, inclusivity to innovation, and safety to sustainability. This theme is more than a slogan, it is our sector's mission map. It captures the breadth and depth of India's aviation journey, from indigenous design studios to world-class manufacturing units, from empowering local talent to pioneering future-ready technologies, from making every journey safer and to making every airport greener. It is a bold affirmation that India is ready not just to fly, but to build, maintain, lead, and to inspire. And we invite the global aviation community to partner with us across the full spectrum, from vision to velocity. Let me conclude by inviting each one of you, the diplomats, industry leaders, entrepreneurs, young professionals, aviation enthusiasts, to join us at Wings India 2026 in Hyderabad from January 28th to 31st next year. And as you prepare to join us in Hyderabad, I would also like to say that you are arriving in a city that is rich in heritage and as it is in aerospace innovation. I have a very deep connection to Hyderabad, so I had to say 2-3 lines on that city also. From the majestic Charminar of the world-class aerospace parks, Hyderabad stands as a crossroads both between culture and cutting-edge technology. You will be welcomed by the timeless charm of Telugu hospitality and by the unmistakable aroma of our famous Hyderabadi biryani, a dish that speaks the universal language of joy. So, and in the spirit of Atidhi Devo Bhava, we promise you not just comfort, but warmth, not just facilities, but also memories. So come and join us to experience India at its most innovative, inclusive, and inviting best. And finally, I would also like to express my sincere appreciation to the organizing partners, my team at the Ministry of Civil Aviation, the Airports Authority of India, the FICCI, and whose excellence and dedication have elevated Wings India to a global platform for innovation and opportunity. And we are also deeply thankful to the government of Telangana for their unwavering support in hosting Wings India 2026 at the iconic Begumpet Airport. Indian civil aviation is going to spread its wings once again from 28th to 31st January 2026. This time, the wings are much bigger and much stronger. So let us make it a celebration of not just India's rise, but global aviation's shared future. See you all in Hyderabad. Thank you once again for coming. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your visionary address and for your continued leadership in driving the growth of India's civil aviation sector. May I now request Ms. Jyoti Vij, Director General FICCI, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Shri Kanjarappu Ram Mohan Naidu, Honorable Union Minister of Civil Aviation, Government of India. Shri Murlidhar Mohalji, Honorable Minister of State for Civil Aviation, Government of India. Shri Samir Kumar Sinha, Secretary, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of India. Shri Vipin Kumarji, Chairman, Airport Authority of India. Shri Asangba Chubao, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Civil Aviation, Government of India. Mr. Rajesh Nirvan, DG, VCAS. Mr. Remy Millard, Chairman of the FICCI Civil Aviation Committee and President MD, Airbus India and South Asia, the colleagues from industry, members of mission, friends from media, and good evening, everyone. It is my honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of industry at this very special curtain raiser event for Wings India 2026, Asia's premier civil aviation platform. And I was told that this is becoming the world's largest event now. Today, India stands tall as the third largest domestic aviation market globally and is steadily advancing towards becoming the third largest air passenger market overall. And thanks to the effort of the government, the sector has seen monumental growth over the last decade, marked by doubling of operational airports, exponential growth in aircraft fleet, and path-breaking initiatives like Uran, DigiYatra, and new MRO and drone policies. We heard of these and many more in the earlier addresses, and very heartening to see the commitment towards not only growth, but a sustainable, innovative, and an inclusive, with a lot of women focus out there in the civil aviation industry by the government. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the very dynamic and visionary leader, Shri Kinjarappu Ram Mohan Naidu, the Honorable Union Minister of Civil Aviation, for not only gracing the occasion with his inspiring presence, but seeing your passion, insights. It reaffirms that India's aviation sector will be and is the powerful engine of the economic growth and regional connectivity. I'd also like to sincerely thank the Honorable Minister of State for Civil Aviation, Shri Muralidhar Moholji, for his very valuable address, underscoring government's commitment to infrastructure development, innovation, and self-reliance in the aviation sector, and particularly talking about India being the MRO hub, especially making India the MRO hub. Our deepest appreciation goes to Shri Sameer Kumar Sinha, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Civil Aviation, for his thought-provoking special address and continuous support in shaping India's civil aviation landscape. Very sincere thanks to Shri Vipin Kumar, GIS, Chairman of Airport Authority of India, for the welcome address and your continued support, sir, in expanding and modernizing India's airport infrastructure. A special thanks to the Joint Secretary, Shri Asanga Chubauji, for introducing Wings India 26 today, and for all your support to this event, and a lot of clarity and enthusiasm with which you are driving this whole event. My special acknowledgement to the Chairman of FICCI Civil Aviation Committee, Mr. Remy Millard, for his leadership, for bringing the private sector perspective, and for his commitment to work closely with the government to realize the true potential of the sector. With Wings India 2026 scheduled from 28th to 31st January at the Begumpet Airport, Hyderabad, we look forward to deeper engagement with global partners, policymakers, investors, and innovators to unlock the new growth avenues. In closing, I extend gratitude to all the dignitaries, industry leaders, government officials, and distinguished guests for being part of this journey. Your presence and support give us the momentum to make Wings India 2026 truly exceptional. And now I invite all of you to join the dinner. Thank you so much, and my thanks to also the Ministry and the Airport Authority of India for having us the partner as this very great event. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again extend a heartfelt round of applause to our esteemed dignitaries for their presence and valuable contributions. We request them to please come together for a group photograph. As we conclude this evening, we once again warmly invite you to Wings India 2026 from 28th to 31st January at Begumpet Airport, Hyderabad. Thank you very much once again to our chief guest, our guest of honor, and now we warmly invite you all for dinner. Thank you so much for your participation, and we wish you a great evening ahead.